Hello and welcome back to the Innsmouth Case with me, Bardon. Hope you are keeping well. Okay, so last time we managed to, talk our way into the Church of Dagon. So let's see what's actually in here. The dark wooden church gates are imposing. The thick rivets of black metal hinges would withstand a whole army. You're unsure whether the church might be closed right now, but you still reach for the cold handle and push it down. You lean against the door, and to your surprise, it opens. As you step inside, you find yourself in a kind of grotto. Only a few candles are lit inside the hall. The slim windows are decorated with the kind of mosaics that you know from other churches too. Yet, something is wrong here. You think to yourself, where usually there are red, blue and yellow specks of light, here there's just a monotonous greenish-grey glow, just as if seaweed has crystallized and formed abstract shapes. Rows of benches stretch out all the way to the pulpit, but many of them have been overturned or vandalized. Okay. So does that mean that the people who worship Dagon took over a different church and made it theirs and that's why it's vandalized? Or is it people actually vandalizing the Church of Dagon, I wonder? The church is a ruin, a chilly, uninviting place, like most churches. Cool blue daylight enters through a crack in the ceiling and, just below, a puddle is formed on the floor. You scrunch up your nose at the smell of decay in this place. Let's look around. You look around the hall and towards the front. You can see a few rows of benches that are still standing upright. You realize you are not alone. There's someone sitting on the last bench just in front of the altar. You can only make out a half-bald head with white bushy hair sticking up to its sides. The man might be waiting for the next mass, or he might be a criminal, repenting all by himself. To the right of the altar is a small door, which presumably leads down into the crypt. There are paintings all around the walls. Okay, interesting. You look around. Let's look at the paintings. Yeah, let's look at the paintings first. Very strange. From your years of admittedly declining church attendance, you're very well acquainted with the kind of paintings usually displayed. The Passion of the Christ and all that. Yeah, stages of the cross normally. The congregation clearly believes in a very different kind of legend. The first picture shows sailboats leaving a harbour, presumably Innsmouth, and going off to the ocean. There are women stooped over and wailing children, and dead people? Yes, dead bodies appear. Oh, that should be two, I guess. Yes, dead bodies appear to be piled up all around the harbour. The picture number 2 depicts the boats being exposed to gigantic waves during a horrendous storm. The third picture shows an idyllic island, miraculously untouched by harsh weather. The boats have landed here. In the fourth picture, it is night. Two people are standing in front of a bonfire. A highly problematic depiction of one of the islanders is holding something red in their hands. A man in traditional mariner clothes accepts the red thing. You look at the adjacent wall. There are more pictures over there, but you can already tell that they too have been vandalized. You also look at the other paintings. The pictures on the adjacent wall do not continue the morbid tale. Instead, here you find the kind of pictures that you had initially expected to see. The Stations of the Cross that is usually displayed in churches. Without exception, they have been vandalized. The canvases have been slit and even the decorated frames have been destroyed, with the splintered wood still strewn across the floor. Okay, so it looks like it was a Christian church, probably a Catholic church, and has been converted, I guess, to the Church of Dagon. You wonder who would do such a thing. Your landlady. Lawyers, the gardener. Let's go with lawyers. Who knows? As you keep studying the pictures, you notice there's method in the madness. Whoever was responsible for the vandalism was going after the biblical figures and a scratched liar, losers, you're to blame, and other allegations next to them. Your mouth has gone more and more dry. While you were looking at the pictures, something is very wrong in this town. You walk backwards, almost automatically, until you bump into another row of benches. You feel like you've seen enough of these vandalized pictures and creepy Innsmouth Bible stories. You look around. Let's walk up to the altar. A sense of morbid curiosity makes you walk over to the other end of the church to inspect the altar. You let out an involuntary wow. As you walk up to the raised platform, the place looks like a crime scene. Chairs and shelves have been overturned and wine spilt over the steps. Seems like no one bothered to wipe it up. So, could be communion wine, so again, that would kind of suggest Catholicism. Although, I was kind of put off by the fact that they said there was a pulpit. And generally in the Catholic Church you wouldn't have a pulpit, so to speak, because that's more kind of a Protestant thing where it's kind of hell and damnation and all that kind of jazz. But you never know. I don't know how Catholic churches are in the US though. Right, well, let's move on anyway. It is wine, isn't it? Of course. Yes, of course it's wine. You can barely make out the cross that once must have been hanging over the altar. It too has been destroyed. A fish sculpture has been put in its place. You're still surveying the spectacular scene in front of you when you hear the sound of someone smacking their lips. The old man is sitting in an antique wheelchair with his arms flopped on the armrests. You walk up to him. The smell of old leather mingles with the general odour of decay in this place. The man is thrashing his head from side to side. In the faint light you can see that his pupils are cloudy, presumably cataracts. He doesn't look at you directly and simply stares somewhere a few yards next to where you are standing. He starts talking with a scratchy voice.
Gary, my son, is that you?
Because I'm trying to see new things, I'm going to go with one that I probably wouldn't pick in terms of role-playing the investigator, which is disguise our voice. I think our guy would just say, listen, I'm a private eye, I'm looking for this lost girl, but we won't do that. We'll disguise our voice. Yes, Pop. Yes, Pop, you answer. Your voice disguised in a painfully deep baritone. Yes, Pop.
Damn it, Gary. What are you doing here, you idiot?
Your jaw drops. Idiot? All of the lonely and unkempt old people out there you seem to have met, the one who, without hesitation, insults his children.
What are you doing here, Gary?
He growls at you more loudly. I'll kick your ass, Pa. I wanted to see how you were doing, Pa. I wanted to see how you were doing, Pa. You lie in a way a real son probably would. The dry and spindly hands of the man scratch along the armrests.
Stop talking garbage, dumbass, and let me know whether everything has been prepared.
Of course.
Liar. Seamus has just told me that one of these stupid detectives is still running around in town.
Detectives? You can feel the colour draining from your face. You hope that the eyesight of this guy is as bad as you think. Any advice, Pa?
They need to learn to respect you. Don't even think about telling them what you wasted the last few years of your life on.
What have I done wrong? You ask, eager to find out more about this dysfunctional family.
You know exactly what.
The old man screams and digs his claws into the armrest. He comes alive with that very particular spark that parents get when they scream at their children.
Graphic design! What a joke! Don't you dare tell people. I told everyone that you did coastal research at uni.
This conversation resembles more and more what you and your actual family talk about. Okay, Pa, you respond automatically. The old man finally seems pacified. Weakened by his tantrum, he's now slumped back in his wheelchair and smiles peacefully. He's breathing heavily. Anything else? The old man knows more than he lets on. You're certain of that. Anything else? You ask.
Once the human sacrifices a position, nothing can go wrong. Just let their blood flow into the water stream, and everything should basically work itself.
Who says damn it? Is that us?
Damn it.
His eyes are now boring into your forehead. Oh, he knows who we are, I think.
You've watched me do this your whole life. You'll manage, Gary.
Good thing the man is half blind, so he's unable to see how the colour is completely draining from your face. Did you just talk about human sacrifice? The old man purses his lips. He's probably just trying to provoke you. I've got to go, Pa. You try to sound relaxed, but not as if you're about to have a nervous breakdown. What is this old guy on about? You've made a snap decision that you don't want anything to do with him, and so you rush over to the door.
Yes, get your lazy ass into gear. Your liberal fart school has turned you into a right sissy.
Liberal farts? You slip back out through a small crack in the gate. An icy wind whips your face, but you still find it warmer than inside the church. You lean back onto the wall of the old church and heave a sigh. You're not sure exactly what you left, but you were glad that you did. Okay, and then go to... So we'll go to the beach. No. We've been to the beach a couple of times. Let's go back to the lighthouse and see what happens there. Yeah. So let's see what happens there if we don't touch the thing that makes us a yeah. Okay, but that's going to be the end of this one, so hope you have enjoyed. Hope you're keeping safe with there. Hope 2021 is being good to you. You know, you guys all deserve great things in life, and I hope life is giving them to you. And if it's not, well, I hope that it does soon in the future. But as I said, that's it for me. Take care and see you soon. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.